we saw gun confiscation from law-abiding citizens here in America. Isn't that a fact?
It is. In fact, on our website, which I should say is gunowners.org, if people go to gunowners.org, they can see our brief, by the way. Heller versus D.C. is the tab that you would click on for that. We've had, it's not on our main page anymore, but if you just type into the search engine on our page at gunowners.org, just type in Katrina, it'll come up. We've got a couple of videos of news photos, news videos that we were able to get and to keep that show. One was an Oklahoma news channel, TV channel covering Oklahoma National Guard, and another was an Oakland, California station recording what the California Highway Patrol was doing. They were confiscating people's guns, and they were confiscating guns not from people that were looting from stores or houses. They were confiscating guns from people who were in their homes. People, this is quite a bit at this point after the flood had begun to recede, and these were places that had not been damaged by the actual floodwaters at all. People were simply in their homes because they knew that there could be looting because so many neighborhoods had been abandoned. So they were staying with their guns to protect their homes. And these authorities came in and confiscated their guns. And, you know, now there's been a law passed, happily, by the Congress, and there's one just like it that the state of Utah just passed, which we think is one of the better laws that's been passed in a long time. These two laws, the federal law applies to all federal law enforcement, and of course the one in Utah applies to all Utah law enforcement. They take somebody's gun, and they're not arresting the person for looting or, you know, breaking the law in some way. They take somebody's gun. They can be sued by that victim personally. Their law enforcement department will not be able to pay for their legal expenses, and if they get slapped with a monetary settlement at the end of the trial, they personally will have to pay for that. So, you know, if you are facing some federal Mountie, or if you're in Utah and some disaster strikes and a cop's trying to take your gun, just say, officer, I want to get your name real clearly, because you're not going to have a house left when I get through with you.
That's some amazing information, and I want to thank you, Mr. Pratt, for being our guest today on The Real News. I urge everyone to join the Gun Owners of America. Tell everyone how they can get involved with your organization, and we would like to stay in touch with you and have you on as a guest from time to time.
It will be my pleasure to be back. People can join on that website at gunowners.org. There's a tab there where they can click and go join it. It's not a pricey thing. It's $20 a year. We do have a life membership for $500. They can do it right there at gunowners.org, or you can call our toll-free number if they can't get on the web. It's 888-886-GUNS. That's 888-886, and then the letters GUNS.
We want to thank you again for joining us, Mr. Pratt. You're a real patriot, and we will be back in touch with you.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to come back with your phone calls. The phone number is 704-873-1400. Davie County number is 336-499-0681. Website's therealnewsradio.com. You can email us at onair@therealnewsradio.com, and we're streaming at WSICweb.com.
Did you know that?
Location. Hello, and welcome back to The Real News. Again, the phone number is 704-873-1400, and our Davie County number is 336-499-0681, so feel free to give us a call. First story I want to do is Edna, workplace is the wrong place for sexual politics. The Employment Non-Discrimination Act, ENDA, E-N-D-A, has passed the U.S. House, and Senator Edward Kennedy is now leading the push for a vote in the U.S. Senate. ENDA is aimed at providing heightened protections for a particular sexual behavior, homosexuality. It would grant special considerations on the basis of sexual orientation. that would not be extended to other employees in the workplace. INDA violates employers' and employees' constitutional freedoms of religion, speech, and association. The proposed legislation would prohibit employers from taking their deeply held beliefs into account when making personal decisions. This would pose an unprecedented intrusion by the federal government into people's lives. INDA would provenly bring private behavior considered immoral by many into the public square by declaring that all sexual preferences are equally valid. INDA would change national policy supporting marriage and family. It's obvious that the real agenda behind the erroneous named Employment Non-Discrimination Act is a push to enshrine homosexuality in national policy. This dangerous legislation would dramatically expand the government's reach into your workplace and create unnecessary workplace conflict lawsuits. INDA is a sweeping employer mandated to create special new legal protections based on sexual orientation. Well, people, here we go again. More government condonement and enforcement into legitimizing the gay lifestyle. But it's so easy for them to move it forward. All that opposes them directly is a handful of dedicated men of God and then a whole multitude of wimpy Christians that won't organize or mobilize for what is truly right. But they are willing to occasionally pay it a little worthless lip service. People, if we really want things to change, the people are going to have to get up out of their easy chair. And they're going to actually have to stand up for what's right, or you'll just keep getting more of the same. House holds a rare secret session. The House of Representatives held a secret session on March 13th for only the 6th time since 1812. After being sworn to silence at the request of the Republican leadership, members supposedly discussed information relating to revisions to the controversial Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act for an hour behind closed doors. Now, this got practically absolutely no airtime by the mainstream media. Several representatives rose to express alarm when the first closed session in almost 25 years was proposed, but they eventually withdrew their objection so it could proceed. Congressman Dennis Kucinich said it raises questions about the Constitution of the United States, before noting that he knew the House had the power to make its own rules and that they would not be attending the session. We ought to be proceeding with the utmost caution in going into this direction. He also said that the House had some members that felt the country had drifted towards a national security state and that his experience with secret committee meetings, the information was at best dubious value and sometimes untrue or misleading. We got a phone call. Hey, you doing all right today?
Yes, Bill Anderson again.
Hey, how you doing today?
Well, I'm hanging on, and I'm real good and mad.
Well, go ahead and tell us what's on your mind, sir.
Went to the gas station a little while ago. Gas is $3.62 a gallon here in Knoxville this morning. Now, this is what really burns me up. About 2.5 months ago, Mr. Bush sold Saudi Arabia millions of dollars worth of laser-guided bombs. It's unbelievable that anybody would sell a terrorist country super weapons like laser-guided bombs. But whenever I heard that on Fox News, I made this prediction. Look out. Gas prices is going to go sky high. So now what's happened? We buy a lot of crude oil from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the big pushers along with OPEC